Hey, everybody, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving Eve from PHLY Flyers Pregame. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games. We are brought to you tonight on Flyers Pregame by our friends at Bet365. And we are in the Xfinity mobile studio, which is on the road tonight. That's right, we're here at Reading Terminal Market. And not only do we have Philly's #1 hockey beat writer, Charlie O'Connor, but we have the legendary Anthony Gargano joining us for pregame today as well here at Reading Terminal. And so nice of you to join us here.
Listen, I'm thankful, and I said this all day today, but I mean it because it's Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful that we have the greatest Flyers coverage, all right? Two amazing, talented guys. I love them, all right, as people, as men, and no one does it better than you guys, all right? You guys are fantastic.
Thanks,
so
man.
I'm like, listen, I want to talk some pucks, man.
All right,
Oh, we
let's
absolutely
I
want to talk
geek
some
out
puck.
a little bit. So I want to listen, I'm just here to tag along with you guys, and I want to get excited because it's Florida tonight.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the defending champs tonight, and they've had a little bit of a rough start to the season. They're dealing with a ton of injuries, but you look at the standings right now, everybody in the Eastern Conference basically has the same record, and the Flyers and Panthers right next to each other. Goal differential separated by 1. Points in the standings exactly the same. The Flyers have 1 fewer game played. These are two teams having similar seasons, and you can get into the expectations. One team defending 2-time champ, the other just trying to stay above water, and they've done so very well. But I'm really looking forward to tonight's game. It's really one of the first road trips of the season. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But we have lineup news for you to start the pregame tonight. I know we spent quite a bit of time on Monday talking about the fourth line, when Nikita Grabenkin's going to get back in. The answer, tonight. It will be, as the Flyers tweeted earlier this afternoon, Grabenkin coming in for Delorier and Juleson coming in for Yegor Zamula on that third defensive pair. And of course, Dan Vladar in net. And I think if we were to get the thankful started early here, I think Dan Vladar, one of the top things Flyers fans thankful for thus far this season. But listen, Charlie, we talked on Monday. Yeah, D'Lo is the obvious guy to come out of the lineup. He's been in the rotation on the fourth line all season. Garnet Hathaway hasn't exactly looked great this year. What do you think of Grabenkin coming in, and it's D'Lo who's coming out?
Well, I'm glad Grabenkin's in. He needed to play. And this is even setting aside who's the right person to be in. Like, if you're going to have a young player like Grabenkin up, he's got to play. He hasn't been playing enough. I'm a little surprised, and the more I looked into it, I'm not quite as surprised. But my first instinct when they announced the lineup was I'm a little surprised they're not using Nick Delorier against the Florida Panthers. Obviously, they have the reputation of being the big, tough team. Now they're not at full strength, but they're a tough team. They play hard. It's worth noting, though, Nikita Grabenkin did play because they've actually played the Panthers twice already this year. They played them in the opening game, and then they played them in, I believe, in their home opener, their third game. Yeah. They've split that series. They won the home opener. They lost their first game. The game they won, Nikita Grabenkin was in the lineup, so maybe trying to replicate what worked in the game you won.
Listen, I don't have a problem with that. I want to see Nikita Grabenkin play. You know I love D'Lo, and he did all he could against Tampa Bay, fighting a 6'9" dude.
Yeah, and he won.
Taking care of him pretty well in that fight. But it'll be Grabenkin in for D'Lo. As far as the starting goaltender goes, and I know you got the chance to sit down with the whole Brain Trust prior to the season beginning. We made a ton of news out of they got Trevor Zegras. We'll see about Christian Dvorak, but he played the best hockey of his career under Rick Tocchet, so this makes a ton of sense. But it sure seems like they found a goalie in Dan Vladar.
It's amazing, right? Because none of us expect. Now, I thought that they were hopeful. I mean, if you ask those guys, you ask Toc, right? You ask Danny. I mean, he's exceeded everyone's expectations. They all believed, and you guys have talked about this a lot, but the way he was used for Wolf last year, like they believed that there was upside there, right? Like he was thrown to the Wolves on basically every start. So they believed that there's some upside there. The whole older goalie and how the maturation process comes into play. But he has been a godsend. I mean, when Ersan's in last night, or Monday night, you just know, you go, oh, man. And you just have that kind of, it's weird. But you go Vladar, and I think he gives them a lot of confidence. They play well in front of him.
He's just playing great hockey, and I mean, there's no way they can't feel good when he's behind them because, I mean, I talked about it. I did an article today on what the Flyers have been good at so far, and obviously top of the list was Dan Vladar, not just goaltending, Dan Vladar specifically. But the point I made is that you look at it, he's had 3 games this year, only 3 games, where he's had a single game save percentage under 900. And I would say out of those 3 games, only one of those games I think he played bad. There was the game against Montreal where he just didn't have it. They end up winning the game anyway, but he just didn't have it. The other 2 games, the game against Toronto where I think he was okay. Wasn't great, but he was okay. And then the game against Dallas where the whole team just wasn't ready to play. That's it. Every other game, he's had above a 900 save percentage. So pretty much every night, you can expect he's going to at least provide good goaltending, if not great goaltending. And I'm sure the players have to feed off of that.
Yeah, I guarantee they do. And one of the things that's been really impressive, he's made 13 starts. It's not like he's been here a while. It's not like he's got 100 games under his belt like Ersan does, at least in front of and behind this team. But it feels like this team is confident, even in those games where he hasn't played well, and they've been few and far between so far. They think he's going to make the next save. And that allows them to go and play their game in front of him. And you see the record, 8-4-1. They've been really good when he's in the net. And I don't think it's just because he's stealing games. I think it starts there, and it builds out that the offense we can take a little bit more of a risk.
Yeah.
The defense doesn't have to deny every single shot. We can let a puck get to him. He'll stop it, and then we can break out from there. I think it all starts with him, but it really builds out. And that is a credit to Danny Briere. And we have to give it to Kim Dillabaugh as well, the one holdover coach who Danny said, yeah, we're going to give him a look, which isn't exactly a vote of confidence. It was just, well, we'll see if he's any good.
We've heard good things.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't great last year in terms of the goalies, but he's supposed to be a great goalie coach. He likes this guy, Dan Vladar. He thinks he can make something out of him. And, hey, if you can do it, we'll keep you. If you can't, we may be looking for a new goalie coach. And so far, he's really working well with Dan Vladar.
And 13 games, it's not like it's 5, right? Like, I mean, 13, and the quality of saves, like that, when you're looking at and you analyze it over the 13 games and look shot by shot, you go, all right, like, he's legit. Like, it passes the smell test.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm even thinking back to, and I'm sure you remember this very well, I'm thinking back to that 2010 year when Michael Layton showed up and was doing great. Like, we're watching and we're like, this is fun. But he doesn't look like he's kind of getting lucky. Like, you know, we'll ride this for as long as we can. But, like, this isn't an actually great goalie. You're watching Vladar, he's passing the eye test.
Yes.
He just looks like he knows what he's doing in there.
Wow.
And based on our bar, I know our bar is exceedingly low for goaltenders the last few years, but he just kind of looks like he knows what he's doing, and that has to give the rest of the team confidence, and they're playing like it in front of him. Tonight is the second of a 4-game road trip, which doesn't sound like they've been on the road forever. This is going to end up being their longest trip of the season so far, Charlie. You look at the schedule; they haven't gone on the road for more than 2 in a row thus far. They get shut out on Monday in Tampa. Not the best foot forward for a 4-game roadie, but now they're in Florida, and then they go to the New York metropolitan area Friday and Saturday. But for a team that hasn't really been on the road, they've gone, we went to Ottawa for 1, we went to Montreal for 1. That's really it. How does this affect? Like, do you think we'll know more about this team on Saturday night at 11 o'clock than we did going into this trip?
Yeah, I do, because these are look, road trips are obviously a different feel than they are home games, but it's also that these are tough games. I mean, obviously they lose 3-0 to the Lightning. That was not a strong performance by them. They need to bounce back, but Florida's the defending champs. The Islanders, they're better. Matthew Schaefer is one of the, if not the best young player in the game right now, certainly defenseman-wise. And then the Devils, they beat up on the Devils this past weekend, but Devils are a pretty good team.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a road trip where if you can find a way to go, 2-1-1, that's a successful trip. If you can find a way to win the next 3, then it's like, hey, man, we can really build off this. But you've already lost 1 game in regulation. Now you got to find a way to win a couple. And this is, I would say, out of the 3, the toughest of the 3 because it's Florida. You're on the road.
Yeah, 100%. It's on the road against a team that not the best start to the season. They've been dealing with these injuries. Some of the players they were hoping would step up, with Tocchet out, with who the hell's the center, Charlie? I'm blanking.
What's that?
Who's their number one
Barkov.
center? Barkov. Oh, that was embarrassing.
He ain't coming back.
Yeah, no.
Kachuk's coming back at some point.
Kachuk's coming back at some. With this number of players out, it's all right. We need Sam Bennett to be a star for us. We need some of these role players to step up. Hasn't really been the case. 37-year-old Brad Marchand leads them in scoring.
It's funny how he's the guy who's stepping up.
But they have won 6 of their last 9. They have been a lot better. They just beat the crap out of Nashville the other night, beat them 8-3. So it feels like they might be finding something here. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Flyers can do up against a team that they've split with, up against a team that seems to be finding itself. And now, on a road trip for the first time this season, it can bring the boys together, but you also learn, all right, how much more do we have to go? They haven't had to travel. They haven't had to have road back-to-backs like they're going to have this weekend. I'm looking forward to just learning a little bit more about this team as we make our way through this. I don't want to call it a house money season, but it is really a fact-finding mission this year. Yeah. How far away are we?
Yeah,
they're going to try to win.
They want to build. They want to be better, but it's obviously not a year where they're gunning for a cup, as opposed to next year, a couple years down the road after they make some ads.
You need to know your baseline.
Yeah,
I think that's what this year's about. Back to Florida real quick, because what did Bennett get? How much?
Ooh, he got a
was
little,
it like 8.5?
A little under 9,
Yeah.
8.5, 8.
It was funny. I was talking to somebody in the league, and they go, listen, Bennett's a guy that's going to get paid a lot of money, but he won't do anything in the regular season. Like, that's kind of who he is. Like, he's big game, come playoff time, but you wonder, and actually for him, I think it was smart going back to Florida, because you go to a new team, there's all that expectations, you're getting paid all that money. At least, going back to Florida what you did.
Yeah, he's a bit of and Florida, because they have so many guys on under market contracts, they can afford to overpay him a little bit, knowing that, hey, we're Florida, we're going to be in the playoffs every year. He'll make it back when he excels in the postseason. But this has been an interesting year for him, because I think there were still some people who were thinking, like, maybe he is a star, maybe he is a first-line player, and they gave him the opportunity so far this season to prove that he is, because you got guys like Barkov who are out, and looking at his numbers, I believe he has 9 points in 22 games or something like that. Like, he is what he is. He's an excellent role player who steps up his game in the playoffs when his style works better for that type of game. But if you're expecting a guy who's going to get you the number 1 seed, who's going to win you the division in the regular season, that's not him.
No. The regular season is just such a different animal. Like, if you try to run the goalie you'll just never play.
Right,
you will get suspended for that in the regular season. They'll be like, no, you're going to spend 14 minutes a night in the penalty box. You're not going to play tomorrow. It's just different in the playoffs, and that style works, and it's worked exceedingly well for Florida. But he can't be the guy he is 82 games. Would spend the entire year hurt or suspended.
That is true,
It's not going to work. All right, on the other side, I want to talk a little bit more about Briere's offseason. It is, of course, Thanksgiving Eve, and because we're here at Reading Terminal Market, very special guest here with Gargano. Want to get to know what we're thankful about, and I think we have a couple of things from Danny Briere's offseason, but right now, got to tell you about our presenting sponsor. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Tell you all the time about the 90 million users worldwide. One of the pioneers in live in-game betting with over 78 different sports that you can get money down while the action is in play. But right now, it's all about the NHL early payout offer. If you bet a team on the money line, they go up 3, you get an instant payout. You put a team as part of your parlay, they go up 3, you get that little green check, you move on to the next leg. It's that simple. And we have breaking news from our friends at Bet365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, win or lose. All you got to do is sign up, use code PHLY365, deposit $10 and make a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, total, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus and in PA. If you or somebody who has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And now you know what time it is. It's It's time to tell you about our friends at Elkin Chevy. Flyers fans already know who's dishing those championship-level deals like it's Black Friday every single day. It's our friends at Elkin Chevrolet, right on Route 73 South in Marlton. Listen, they're run by three brothers, Jason, Adam, and Josh. These guys, they're in the store every single day, not taking days off. They are making sure that they're providing wins for their customers while giving you that honking good service. There's no missed shots, no drama, just real brothers running a local business, backing every sales deal like it's the championship game. So if you're in the market for a new Chevy, make your move to Elkin Chevrolet. Real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honking good service. Shop now at elkinchevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. All right, before we get back to it,
You got food, guys.
we
We got food coming. It's Reading Terminal Market. What do you
It's
say?
Reading Terminal
You guys
Market.
fed,
This
man.
is, Charlie gets here like 10 minutes before the show, and I'm like, what is... You're not going to take advantage? You're not going to take advantage of where we are right now?
Have to.
What I am about to sample is cheesesteak from By George. By George. They've got the pizza. They've got the cheesesteak. They've got pasta. Everything. I had a piece of one of these earlier. It was tremendous. And so I'm going to do it right on camera here because who doesn't love to hear someone eat? Who doesn't love to watch a fat guy eat on film? Oh!
Hell yeah.
You got to get down to Reading Terminal Market and have some By George cheesesteaks. Come on. If this doesn't make you hungry, what will?
Amazing. Amazing. And then what do we got over here?
All right, you got to check out the Tambayun, all right? The lumpia,
All right. Let's
You
give
got
it
to
a-
look at it, right?
Let's give it a go.
Look how
It-
delicious.
it
Now,
looks
do
good.
you like a little dip action?
You know what? Yeah.
I
let's
would
give
give
it
it a
dip
shot. I
action.
had some
Right?
earlier.
Let's do
But
that.
These are really good,
Oh, yeah. They're real good.
right?
Yeah.
Delicious, right? It's incredible.
Absolutely.
Look at these egg rolls.
oh, I had a couple of those earlier.
Like spring
They
rolls.
were put right down in front of me. They're like delicious spring rolls. Absolutely love the dipping sauce. It's lumpias from Tambayun.
Yep.
Tambayun. Outstanding. Everything
Fantastic.
down at Reading Terminal is great. And you are the... you're the godfather of this place. You put this thing together for us every year. This is kind of your baby. Why do you think it's important we're here all the time, every year?
Well, it's a Philadelphia institution. The one thing that we think about PHLY is we're all about sports, family, community, and there's nothing better than Reading Terminal Market.
Exactly.
You know, when I was a kid, we would come up here. It was a big deal. Like, you come in, the smells attack you, right? It's awesome. I love the holidays in Philadelphia. There's something about and to me, Thanksgiving Eve here is like the gateway to the holidays. We're going to be doing another one December 22nd for Christmas.
Ooh,
The whole thing. It's so much fun, and it's an institution, right? And
Absolutely.
what are we about, Philadelphia? We're about family, we're about sports, and we're about food.
It's true.
And why the Reading Terminal Market is the perfect place for us to be.
Yeah, 100%. My parents brought me here when I was a kid. Like, I didn't grow up in the city. We're from South Jersey, but it was still the
Everybody could-
holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the holidays. You go into the city. It's what
Exactly.
you do, and this is one of those outstanding places. This is one of my favorite things we do every year. It's a great day, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you guys. Listen, you gotta go to eat. You gotta eat more.
All right. I plan on it here.
plan
Speaking of things we are thankful for, Danny Briere's off-season. To see that segue, Brenna made us a nice graphic just breaking down all the stuff that Danny was able to
By
get
the way,
done.
speaking of thankful,
Oh.
how about Brenna?
It's been,
Yeah.
it's
Brenna,
it's
the
truly
legend.
She is the greatest.
Our,
I love Brenna.
Our
All right.
super chatters, everyone who watches the show, thankful for Brenna. It has been the quality has picked up immensely since she joined us about a year and a half ago.
Would have to agree.
You see the things Briere was able to get done, whether it's the short-term deal for Tyson Forster or the acquisitions, and that's really, the Cam York deal already looks like an amazing contract, but the 3 off-season acquisitions that have raised the level of this team. We have spent a ton of time talking about Trevor Zegras, and guess what? He's coming up in bets a little bit later. Christian Dvorak has been maybe one of their most consistent players this year. Just a guy that you put on the ice, and things probably aren't going to go wrong, which they badly needed at the center position. And then Dan Vladar, who I don't think anyone saw this.
Yeah.
We've been begging forever. Can we just have an average goalie? Can we just have a guy who's average? And he's been well above average. I got to say, I was skeptical of the Briere plan. I now understand it. I get it a little bit better. And if he can replicate what he did this offseason, hand out some good contracts, bring in players who just make the team better, I don't see why this thing
You
can't
couple
work.
that with the draft, and you hope that the draft, that evolution comes through.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to mention Porter
Right.
Martone,
Porter
who's been
Martone, yeah, he's looking
dominant at the
amazing.
NCAA level this year.
At Michigan State, yeah. I mean, Jack Murtagh, Jay Mansagi, Carter Amico struggling a little bit, but hopefully he's more of a long-term project. It seems like they really got a haul in this draft. But to me, and this is no disrespect whatsoever to Dan Vladar, great signing. It seems like they found a guy who, at the very least, can be a bridge to the younger guys they're developing, who they hope can be, the Igors of Ragas, the Carson Bjarnases, maybe even the Lex Kolosov. So no disrespect to Dan Vladar. He's been great. The Trevor Zegras trade to me, because we have talked about so much on the show that what they need are true high-end guys. They need game breakers. They need guys who can go out there and win you a game by having 2 or 3 great shifts in a game where maybe you guys don't have it that night. The fact that you go out and you get Trevor Zegras, and not only the fact that you got him for such a reasonable price. That gives me so much more confidence in Briere's ability to pull off trades like that in the future, because before it was like, well, yeah, we're going to do it, and you just had to take it on faith that they could do it. Now we've seen that he can do it. Makes you think, well, maybe he can do it again, and maybe again after that. And then suddenly you have a team that can compete for a cup.
Yeah, that's a great point, Charlie. When you get that kind of talent for what they paid, like, if you're going to really have this rebuild be a success, you got to get lucky. You got to get fortunate. You got to be able to really get high-end talent for nothing, and that's basically what happened.
Look at this Florida team. I mean, they picked up Gustav Forsling off the waiver wire,
right.
And he's maybe their best defenseman.
Yeah.
Some of it is skill, is managing ability. Looking at Florida, they went out, they traded for Sam Reinhart. They identified a guy in Buffalo who was good, but could be great if they got him out of Buffalo. You need to make moves like that. But you're right. You also, if they would have known that Gustav Forsling was that good, they wouldn't have let him go on waivers. They would have traded for him.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta make moves that are smart from a process standpoint, but then dramatically exceed your expectations when you actually make them.
Yeah, and that's I go back to your interview when you sat down with everybody. I think it was there where Briere revealed, yeah, we were talking about Zegras in the Cutter Gauthier trade negotiations, and the price was just a little too high. So we said, let's table it. We'll send you Cutter. You give us Jamie in a second. That'll be that. And he comes back, a year and a half later and says, I don't know, he hasn't really done much for you. It's pretty obvious you don't like him.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Right.
And
Ding,
listen,
ding.
the Flyers could absolutely use Ryan Poehling right now. They could use a 4C. But they have a point-a-game player that they got for their 4C and 2 non-premium draft picks. You basically sent them the second they gave you back. To me, the twos cancel out.
Yeah.
And so it's Ryan Poehling in a 4. For a guy who has more points than games played, that's a pretty damn good deal. That is absolutely what you were looking for the GM to do. And it reminds me of the beginning of Paul Holmgren's tenure. Say what you will about the second half. It went poorly. The first half was really, really good. He built a Stanley Cup contending team, and it was because of this. Surplus value deals. Yeah, we'll see. We got Chemo Tiemann and Scott Hartnell. Nice players, should help us. Oh, yeah, man, one of them's our number 1 defenseman until we get Chris Pronger, and the other one is our leading goal scorer for 3 years. Those sorts of deals, and that's what I'm seeing out of Briere right now. He's got to keep it up. They need way more, but he hasn't taken an L yet, I would say. I can't say he's done something that's absolutely killed them yet.
Yeah, exactly. And as they discuss in the conversation they have with you at the start of the year, they're not. Look, they'd love to make the playoffs. That would be great. It would be awesome to make the playoffs. They're going to be aiming for that. But their goal this year is to be better. Their goal this year is to take a step forward, to be competitive, and to show that this is on the right track. And I don't know how this season is going to end, but we're a quarter of the way through the year, and they are doing that. They are definitely competitive. They are in the playoff mix. And look, if Vladar keeps this up, if Zegras keeps playing the way he is and he stays healthy, and then maybe you get a little bit more from Michkov the rest of the way, you maybe get a little bit more from Konechny the rest of the way, I don't see any reason why this team can't, at the very least, stay in the playoff mix all year.
So I got to ask you guys. All right, so where is Michkov now? How far are? It seems like we're getting closer to the Michkov that we expected.
Yeah.
what's your best guess as to when we'll see that dominance again?
I mean, I was hoping it was going to be around this time. He does look quicker. You can definitely...
He is moving better.
You can tell that he's in significantly better shape, that the fitness is getting back. Maybe it's not all the way to where he wishes it was, but it's not bad. It's not where it was at the start of the season. I think now a lot of it, in a lot of ways, is figuring out how to play under Rick Tocchet. And that's not a question that I think is easily answered. You're just hoping that at some point he's going to find that balance of doing what Tocchet wants him to do versus being able to do all the things that make him special. I'm confident he's going to figure it out. When will he figure it out? I hope he figures it out tonight.
Right.
Listen, tonight would be that would be great. I would be quite thankful for that, Charlie. Listen, we need Matvei Michkov to be what we think he can be if this thing's going to work. Does
Toc need to, on his end, do something different or allow?
It's a very good question.
This is what we've talked about a little, especially the two guys who haven't quite got it going this year, Matvei Michkov and Travis Konechny. Neither of them just look like themselves yet. And this team made a transition from being a rush-based offense to one that's going to be a possession team. Both those guys score a lot of their goals on the rush.
Yep.
And maybe there needs to be a little bit more of that as we move forward. I think this is a giving it to you in bits and pieces sort of thing. And before they can add, they need to master what it is he's trying to teach them before it's, and now go freelance.
Right.
I do think there has to be,
has
to be a give and take between the two sides. Should Tocchet open it up a little more? Eventually. But he has to get his message through first because there's 25 guys that need to learn, not just 2.
Right.
Yeah, and I think my issue at this point with the Michkov usage is that, look, he's not all the way back, and there are some nights, even over the last week or so, there are some nights where you're watching him, you're just like, he's not doing much. Okay, I have no problem with you getting 14 minutes a night. But then there are other nights where he's moving well, he's making plays, and those are the nights where I wish that, I'm not saying give him 20 minutes, but I'm saying maybe give him a few extra shifts. Maybe give him 17, 18 minutes one night where he's moving well in the first period and see what happens. That's what I would like to see a little bit more of in December.
So I know it's difficult to judge, obviously, because he's Russian and the whole barrier. But how do you think he's handling it?
Michkov, I mean, everything I've heard is that he's working hard. That he's working hard to make up for lost time, to get himself back into ideal condition. How is he functioning with Tocchet? I don't think it's been bad. I don't get the sense that he dislikes Tocchet. I don't get the sense that Tocchet dislikes him. The one thing that they're both going to have to figure out how to get over, and I do think they will, but it's going to take some time. One thing I've noticed, and this is something I heard, but it's something different from when you hear it, from when you see it. Tocchet is such a one-on-one communicator.
Yes.
You see it in practices on the whiteboard. You see it in games. He's talking to players. Like, Torts was very much John Tortorella was very much I'm going to stand aside and the assistants are going to do the talking for me, and I'm just going to be the culture creator. Tocchet wants to talk to these guys one-on-one. And it's hard to do that when you're not speaking the same language. Yes, Michkov has gotten better with English, but it's not the same as if he's talking to a Trevor Zegras. And I think they're both going to need to work a little bit harder, maybe, to make sure that they're truly on the same page.
That's a good point. I love Tocchet, right? I love his style. I love the fact that he communicates that way. I think your point's right. I think both sides need to, they'll just help things. But I like that. I like him in the weeds.
Oh, yeah.
I
think
love
it gives
that
him more credibility with the players.
Yeah, man.
Especially being who he is.
Right.
Like Rick Tocchet, he played in the NHL and didn't just play in the NHL.
Right.
He was awesome. He's one of Wayne Gretzky's favorite teammates ever.
Yeah.
Like, he's a dude that has a ton of credibility, and when you talk to him one-on-one, it will create that sort of bond with the players, and it'll be, he's not just telling his assistants to tell us, I'm getting it straight from him, so there shouldn't be any questions about, well, I don't really know what he's looking for.
Right.
He's telling you exactly what you need to do, so I do think that exists, and there probably just does need to be maybe a little more effort on both sides, because I see Michkov when he is in these scrums, and it's not all the time. There was one question asked of him the one time where he went to answer, and then he was like, I should wait. he understands. I just don't know if he's confident in speaking yet.
Communicating,
and
yeah.
if you're not getting it back as the coach, you're like, I don't. If he can't answer me, I don't know if he hears.
And it's not even necessarily effort. Like, I'm sure they're both trying,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you need to come up with a language that works for both of you. And that's
It's
not something
hard.
that happens overnight the way it can when you're both speaking English.
Do you guys ever try to speak another language?
I took Spanish.
Right.
Not well,
How
but
about
I
you?
took it.
Puedo ir al baño, por favor.
So, I can understand Italian, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't speak it. And I can't get in the conversation. Like, I know what you're trying to say, but I can't articulate my side of it in the right way.
Sure.
And, like, you could see that. I mean, and he's a kid, right?
Yeah.
So, I think your point is really good, which is, hey, and what you were saying, too, Billy, which is, like, let him put in what he wants, his expectations, and then he'll open it up a little bit, and you'll see more of a free flowing. I just can't wait for that. Like,
It was fun watching him last year.
Man,
We want to see him
more
be
of that.
even better than he was last year.
Exactly.
All right, we only have a couple minutes left here, so let's hit tonight's pregame picks. Tonight's pregame pick segment, of course, is brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Only one tonight, and I think it's going to be Trevor Zegras getting on the board over half a point at minus 130. He's scoreless in the last game. He's had very few scoreless streaks this season. He's been able to find himself. November hasn't been quite what October was, but he's got some big games along the way. I like Trevor Zegras to get on the board tonight, and why not? Over half a point minus 130. And I think that's it, boys.
Is that it?
That is all the time. Oh, one super chat.
We got a super chat.
Who would you guys untouchables be in the organization? Michkov and Martin.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. Those would be the two guys.
If Edmonton calls, there are no untouchables. It's always about what's available.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't know, man. I really like Mish, but Connor McDavid's available. No, there are none. But in what is likely, your number one prospect and the guy who's the centerpiece, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, absolutely. There's few because deals will have to be made, right?
And you're not a great team yet.
Yeah, you're not there. You're in the mix right now. It's a lot because everyone in the Eastern Conference has the same record.
Sure.
There's like 2 good teams and everyone else is 500. But I don't see many untouchables. There are, obviously, you're not just going to ship someone out for the sake of it. But really, it's just those two to me at this point in time.
Yeah.
All right. And that is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers pregame, presented by Bet365. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right here. Right here, follow us. We'll be back as soon as the game tonight goes final with post-game. Follow us on Twitter at PHLY_Flyers. And check out the podcast. Just search PHLY Flyers. All right, I am Bill Matz. That's Charlie O'Connor. That's the Cuz. Thank you, Brenna. Let's go Flyers.
We all silly like the mayor.